Seeing through the lie. So the first talking point is deception versus discernment. And I believe that I was the master of seeing deception because I was a former truth seeker. That's what I would call myself for so many years, because there were so many different instances that I was seeing the deception. Like, we're being lied by, our family, by the government, by all these different systems that are in place, and by our schools. And so I began to search for the truth. And what I didn't know was that, I used to think that we were just in a effed up world, and basically, where is the truth? Where is the truth? And, I'm so glad that now I can say that, I came to the truth, which is Jesus Christ. And I'm so excited to be able to be discerning now, because now it's like, yeah, there is deception, and I can choose to see past the deception and see God and see Jesus Christ. And so once you realize that you can choose to live in truth, then that's when you start looking at yourself, and you realize things too, I've been doing this wrong this whole time. And so when that happens, there's shame versus conviction. You can either sit there and dwell on it, or how wrong you've been for the rest of your for the past whatever, your whole life, or you can be convicted and repent and sin no more and change. Because now, with your new heart, once you know what the truth is and you accept the truth and you hold on to the truth, you can take responsibility of what you've been doing, and you can make a different choice, and you can do it in a way where now you're pleasing God instead of pleasing yourself or the world, the deception. And that's another thing, that it's like you could sit here and you can say, oh well, had to pause there, mom life. So then you can sit there and say, oh well, I've been doing it this way, I've been doing this thing that's a lie for so long, and it's because my parents, or it's because you can sit there and blame everything, your circumstances, oh, it's because I was poor and I had nothing else to do, I didn't have enough to not do that, or whatever, right? There's just so many excuses and blames that you can put, or you can be responsible and say, well, I didn't know, and it's okay that I didn't know, and it's okay that I did it, because now I am forgiven. And so that's the thing, that when you start to see through the lies, you start to be able to correct and live from the truth and live in truth. And that is what seeking the truth versus being the lie. You could literally continue to do what you've been doing, even though you know that it's wrong. And that's when you're choosing to be the lie. You're choosing to follow the tradition. You're choosing to just keep the chain going. And that is super important to me, to my heart, and to my family, is to seek the truth and find the truth and repent when we find out that we haven't been actually following truth, and sin no more. Don't do it again. And yeah, sometimes habits are hard to break. However, now you have your eye on it, and having your eye on it means that you are going to recognize the patterns and now you're choosing different.